Heading into this offseason, the New York Knicks were linked to several superstar trades, but they've yet to execute any one of them, and recent reports seem to give us the answer as to why. It seems that the New York Knicks have a firm stance in regards to what they're willing to give up in a trade for a superstar. Also, heading into free agency, it seems that the New York Knicks are only looking to add veterans to their roster. We're going to break down all of this and more today. Let's get started. The New York Knicks seemingly have a firm stance on trading for stars. Now, this was first reported by SNY's Ian Begley. It seems that the New York Knicks are only willing to give up so much in a trade for a superstar. The Knicks have a firm stance on the price in regards to what they would pay for Damian Lillard and James Harden. Ian Begley goes into this further by stating the following. The New York Knicks were believed to be in the hunt for a star player this offseason, but they aren't willing to give up too much to land one. As of earlier this week, the Knicks were said to be steadfast in holding to their own price point for any top players available via trade, including Damian Lillard or James Harden. Both Harden and Lillard requested to be traded from Philadelphia and Portland, respectively, earlier this offseason. Begley pointed out that it's fair to assume the Knicks' price point is below the asking price for teams to open trading a star player. These are very good reports from Ian Begley here, because it tells you that the New York Knicks, even though they want to trade for a star and they are still looking in the trade market to trade for that star, they are unwilling to trade the house for a superstar. And I like this report actually, and I like this move by Knicks management. There are a number of stars out there. James Harden, Damian Lillard, Paul George, Zach LaVine, Karl Anthony Towns, maybe Joel Embiid, maybe Donovan Mitchell in a few years. There are going to be stars available, and there's always going to be the Knicks associated with one of those stars for a number of reasons. Maybe they're CAA. Maybe one day they ate pizza in New York and they said they loved it and they love New York. Maybe that's why they'd be linked to the Knicks. But either way, for some reason, if one of those players are available, they'll find a way to include the Knicks as a potential trade partner for that star. It's just how it works nowadays. The Knicks and superstar trades seem to be linked together, and these reports from Ian Begley seem to confirm that. But at least we know now that the Knicks are not willing to mortgage the house in order to get these stars like regimes of the past would do. They seem to have a certain line that they will not cross in regards to trading for a star. And we've seen this before, haven't we? With Donovan Mitchell, Danny Ainge asked for one too many picks. I think everything was already set and done, and I think the deal was already completed. But then Danny Ainge asked for more picks, and Leon Rose didn't want to budge from what was already on the table, so he walked away. Paul George, a recent situation, everything seemed to have been on the table with that trade, but at the last second, Paul George asked for an extension, and the New York Knicks didn't want that. And that trade, according to Alan Hahn, could have been executed and done for the New York Knicks. But at the last minute, even though everything was more or less completed, something changed, and the New York Knicks didn't like that change, and they walked away from the table. So it tells you that the New York Knicks are serious. When they walk into the store with $100, and the shirt that they want to buy is $101 after taxes, they're taking their money, they're leaving their store, and they're going to another store where they can buy a similar piece of clothing for either $100 or less. Because that's what they're doing right now. They are holding steadfast, as Ian Begley stated, to their price point. They want a star, don't get it twisted. If anything, reports indicated that they were the one to initiate conversations with the Clippers in regards to trade talks. So it's clear the New York Knicks want a star in the Garden. They want another star that they can pair alongside Jalen Brunson and, unfortunately for some fans, Julius Randle. They want another star they can pair with those guys. And if that's the case, they're going to look at the trade market all offseason to try to execute a trade. But that doesn't mean that they're going to swing on every single trade available. Only if it makes sense for the Knicks and only if it meets the Knicks' price point. And I think the Knicks have made that clear thus far heading in the offseason. They could have had Paul George. They didn't make that trade. The New York Knicks probably could have gotten a number of stars already if they really wanted to and traded the house to do so. But they haven't. Past regimes, they might have. But this current regime is not for that. That's not how they want to build this team. It's already been noted in a number of interviews and a number of sources around the league that the New York Knicks are receiving praise for their slow, patient roster building approach. And you got to credit Leon Rose for that. So as much as fans want to criticize him for not making a superstar move as of yet, you also have to praise him for not trading the house, even though you probably could have, for one of these stars. Maybe even one of these aging stars that are already out of their prime and can't really help a team get to that next level, like a Paul George, like a James Harden. Ian Begley further notes that the Knicks have a short window to work with if they want to acquire a big salary while Brunson is on his current deal. The reason he says that is because after Brunson's current deal, which is a bargain deal by the way right now, he's probably going to seek a max contract or close to that. We all know that, especially if his play continues to be the same or gets better. And I think we all would agree, Brunson's play is likely going to get better each and every year he's in the league from this point forward. He is that good and that special. I truly believe that. So since that's the case, we're going to have to understand what assets, stars, and other players are available that we can pair around him during this time to take advantage of where his contract is right now and see what team we can build around him to potentially make the Knicks a contender team in the East. But we have to do moves now, because the longer we wait, the harder it's going to be in the future to make these same type of moves, especially because we're going to tie up a lot more of our money into current players we have on bargain contracts today. So it's going to be interesting to note. Speaking of this offseason, it begs the question, what are the New York Knicks looking to add in free agency or via trade this offseason? Well, according to recent reports, the Knicks are apparently focused on adding veterans this offseason. But it's not any kind of veterans. It's a special type of veteran. And I've never heard this phrase before, so you gotta forgive me. But these are the type of veterans the New York Knicks are looking to target in free agency this offseason. The New York Knicks are looking for prime-aged veterans in regards to trades or free agency after signing Dante DiVincenzo to a contract. I thought for a second I was reading prime-age stakes or something like that. I had to double take it real quick because I thought I was reading a recipe or a food article or something like that. It was a little confusing. Pull it back up again. Prime-aged veterans. I gotta say, I've been watching the Knicks and reading these articles and covering the New York Knicks for a while now, and I can honestly say, I've never heard of that phrase before. I don't even know what that technically means. What is a prime-aged veteran? But thankfully, Fred Katz of The Athletic goes into further detail on who the Knicks are looking to add in free agency or via trade this offseason. According to Fred Katz, the Knicks haven't totally addressed their on-court issues from last season, but reported the team could seek upgrades. League sources told The Athletic that New York has contacted multiple rival front offices this offseason with a similar objective. The Knicks have built packages around their promising young players to target prime-age veterans they believe would help the current roster. If they flipped one of their 20-something guards for a versatile wing, that would change the context of the DiVincenzo signing too. So this is an important note that we have to take from Fred Katz here. The New York Knicks are looking to flip some of their young players, their young rookies, their young guards probably, for some of these prime-age veterans. And if we want to understand what that term means, all we have to do is look at who the New York Knicks are rumored to be going after, who they're linked to, and who they've added. They got rid of Obi Toppin, so clearly he's not one of those prime-age veterans. They got Dante DiVincenzo. He might be a prime-age veteran, right? Grant Williams, somebody who the Knicks were targeting. He might have been one of those prime-age veterans. What about OG Anunoby? Could he technically fit the bill of prime-age veteran? It seems that prime-age veteran means that you're not a rookie, but you're also not an over-the-hill veteran either. You're right in the middle. probably between 26 to 30 in terms of your age. You've been in the league for a few years, so you have experience, and you likely are above average at something that you do. That's probably the level or threshold where the New York Knicks will start to look at you and consider you to add you to their roster. I think that's what they mean by prime age veterans. Because look at who they're trying to add or who they've been rumored to add. It seems like that's the type of level of player they're looking at. Now maybe the cutoff age is around 33, as Paul George's age is right now. Maybe that's the highest that they're willing to go in terms of age requirements. And if you're above that age, they're not going to consider you. If you're below that age, you might still fit the criteria. I'm not sure of how big the age gap or variance is here, but I'm thinking that's what the New York Knicks mean when they're looking at prime aged veterans. I'm not sure what the New York Knicks are going to continue to do this offseason or what other potential trades they're looking to make. But as of right now, they've only signed Dante DiVincenzo and they've traded Obi Toppin to the Indiana Pacers for 2 future second-round picks. 2 future second-round picks that are in 2028 and 2029 that are the least favorable picks. To summarize, their offseason thus far has not been great for any fan that's been watching closely. And I can only hope that the New York Knicks make more impactful moves as we move forward this offseason. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a comment below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.